It is Monday, May 17th, the new tax day for 2021 in the US. And today I've got my Trend Spider hat on, one of the awesome swag that they sent my way. So thank you, Dan. Thank you, Josh. Oh my goodness, not Josh. Dan and, I can see your face. I can't remember his name. Came to Modern Trader Summit 2019. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna have to go find it. So let me get the live stream up and running on the other computer. I will tweet it out. We'll start talking all about the market today. I did get held up with the Atlanta Fed live, atlantafed.org/live. They are live right at the moment. I was listening to their monetary policy on their webinar, what's going on in their online conference. Quite interesting. And so I do apologize that I was a little late, but I was listening to what the Fed had to say, which of course is going to influence the entire market. And their talk about CBDC, so central bank digital currencies, they're saying, hey, it's not imminent right now, but they're working on it, and Fed now is more important. We did just hear from, here, I'll pull it up so you guys can see it too. And let me get the chat going. So I did get distracted with that. I do apologize. And let me pull it up. You can see right now we've got Raphael Bostic, I have it muted, going on the agenda, and then the different speakers. So right now it was Julia Coronado was saying, okay, so you guys are talking about really having a sovereign type of monetary system for everybody. Willem Bouter was saying, you know what, I think it's really weird that the US is buying mortgage-backed securities. And then we heard from Simon Potter, who said, well, you know, I think really we should buy just equities in the market, but maybe like Japan ETFs, so that we don't end up being owners. And what happens if the mortgages start going into default? What happens if these companies start going into default, and then the federal government is going to be the shareholders that are the largest shareholders? Sounds like a big mess, honestly. But if you want to watch it, it's atlantafed.org/live is going on right at the moment. And let's check out the markets, what's going on with the markets. Hello, IQ Micro. Hello, everything's monetizable. I've got a Dr. Pepper over here. I'm going to tear into my Dr. Pepper. You guys like Dr. Pepper? And I've got my lunch next to me. Dr. Pepper. And for all those Canadians out there, Miss Vicky's classic original recipe. These are amazing kettle chips. Kind of like Cape Cod chips if you've been in the States. But this is a Canadian version. And they have awesome jalapeno. This has been in Canada since 1987. Always sounds weird when people put that on, and then, you know, next thing you know, you're looking at almost 25 years later, and we're 24 years later, and here we are. All right. So the SPY, you guys can see it. Sorry for that crackle of the yes, financial journey. It's good. So over here we have a bit, I'm going to adjust this line up here. So we had this wedge right here heading to the downside, a bit of a megaphone heading down. This orange trend line is from the bottom way back in March of 2021, right? So way back here, March of 2021 is when this orange trend line was set up. How many times have we penetrated that orange trend line? Once back here, March 3rd or 4th and 5th, and then it bounced. Another test here, March 25th, and then another test here in May. So March, 2 times in March, and then we now have it 2 months later. So is this starting to falter as our trend, right? Let's look at our growth rate. It's 21 degrees, so that's not very steep. However, looking at the volume, if we close below this close right here, let's put on a daily chart, because most people are going to be looking at the close on the daily chart. So if we close below 413 today, bye-bye. I think we're going to be heading back down, at least down to 398, if not all the way down to 384 or even lower, right? We could be coming all the way back down to 344 or lower. So keeping all of this on watch. This crazy volume that we have is not really normal. Let's go back and look and see where we were last May. We had some in the end of April, right? And then May 11th and 12th, yeah, we had a little bit of a drawdown. So 12th and 11th, okay, we had a drawdown. And then where did we go? We rebound, we gapped up, and we continued. So are we going to continue? The top back here looks fairly different, right? To me, let's see. April, May, right here. So we pulled back and then we shot up higher 5 days, and then we never filled that gap really. And it continued to move right on up following the upward trend there. So we broke down below the trend lines here just for a short period of time and then shot right back up. However, we are just hanging above them. If we close below 413, yeah, really 413, setting an alert. Let's go here. 412.95, below 413. I think we are going to continue potentially to the downside. We don't have a lot of volume today. A doji day hanging around right on those moving averages. And we have ascending volume, descending volume as we go up. So not that many people are really interested in paying these prices up here. Let's look at, hello Nikos. Let's look at the Qs as well. A lot of dark pool activity today here. So this is looking like we are bouncing off of the volume weighted average price from back here, 4th of March, pretty much. Was support, resistance for 2 days, and now flipped to be support. So if this area, 321.50, if we go below 321.50, then we need to potentially figure out an exit strategy for locking profits, right? Because this could end up getting into a bigger move to the downside. We've seen quite a bit of correcting happening on the Qs. And again, that same sort of megaphone, if we move back down, look, this could get the megaphone shape that was set up from the top is pretty wide. Maybe I'll adjust it over here. Adjust it to fit the trend a bit more. Right there. So maybe we're going to come back down here, 309, and move down to that downside. We are below the moving averages, which is something. Tech has been super strong all of 2020 with this recovery. Looking at it now, hi Troy, looking at it now, this is looking like it's fairly weak. We have this white trend line right here. If we break below that, I think our next stop is going to be down to 309 and then on down to 302. We do have this one that was from the tops. I believe I said, yeah, top here to top here. We bounced off of it back in March when we had the drawdown on the SPY. However, the Qs were stronger than the SPY. Now they seem a bit weaker. Let's look at IWM. Also, oh, this looks like it looks like giant consolidation again. Coming to the upward bound to test, potential to roll down. DIA, Dow Jones today. What happened, right? SEC, Dow Jones. If you guys don't know, check out Brave browser. Look at all the hack trackers and ads blocked, right? So Dow Jones fined by SEC over US volatility crash, right? This just came out. Do you think this has anything to do with those closed door meetings that happened last Thursday? I'm thinking this probably had something to do with it because they didn't want to come out and say it during the trading day, but they announced it this morning. And we also have another SEC closed door meeting that's coming up on Thursday. Upcoming events, closed door meeting. They had them first, it was set up for the 7th, then it was set up. Now we have another Sunshine Act meeting, closed door meeting on the 20th. They had one last week on the 13th. It was originally, goodness, it was supposed to be in May. Then they postponed it to the 6th. Then they pushed it to the 13th. They had it, and now they're having another one. This one is closed doors because it has to do with things. If you look at the Sunshine Act, it will tell you things that are basically of security violations affecting financial institutions are closed door. Let's see, what about the public hearings? Nothing too much there. Crypto finance, June 17th, but that's nothing to do with XRP as of yet. But that is all in the works, right? Maybe we're going to hear something about it on the 20th because Gary Gensler worked at MIT and he was a big crypto fanatic at MIT. Nobody has corrected the XRP circulation supply yet. You know what, Nikos? They could have burned it, or they might have early today, or are you late? No, I was late today. So you're just on time, Roger. Is Airplane Jane optimistic about NFTs? You know what? Honestly, Shovel, I don't know that much about NFTs. I know it's pretty much like a form of digital royalties for artwork. Of all the people that I learned that about from was Paris Hilton. I saw a video that she did about it because I was like, what on earth is Paris Hilton talking about NFTs? What? So I need to do more work on that and see, because NFTs I know is a way of the future, but it sounds like it's more for artists than your everyday person from my understanding. So Dow Jones, looking at this in the bigger picture, if we break down below over here, 337.50, bye-bye. We have a doji day today. A lot of the indexes are looking the same, super high volume, the 11th and 12th. And are we going to break out to new highs, or are we going to break down below? If we break down below these levels this week, put on your seatbelts, get prepared, potentially to take some profits in long positions and maybe turn into some short positions, in my opinion. Now, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not licensed to give you any advice. This is my opinion. If we do this, if we drop below these levels, then I am going to be more of a bear in the market. Burn 10 billion from supply shouldn't be from escrow. They also own public, maybe Nikos, it's in relation to the public holdings of the insiders. They could burn their own coins, right? We'll see. If they know where it's going, they know what the use is, if they've made some deals, then they could say, you know what, we're going to burn 10 billion, no big deal. It costs them nothing to create that 10 billion, right? But it automatically increases the wealth of the rest of the supply that's out there. Coincidence, right? So really watching the Dow Jones, we extend this over. We need to see if we're going to hold this as a support level or we're going to start to break down. Banks are somewhat, we have a bit of a double top setting up. Trade the trend. Yes. Although you also have to be aware, Roger, when the trend might be changing, right? Doesn't mean that it is dropping today. I'm saying if this happens, then I'm going to be a bear, right? And let's go on down. Let's look at Apple. Apple is down today, red on the market, very much similar to Q's, right? Apple's the number 2 holding, Microsoft is number 1. Apple is number 1 in the SPY, Microsoft is number 2. So when we see these two charts and we see that they are both below the moving averages, they are both trending down. Let's also look at Facebook. Facebook is the strongest pretty much of all of them, just holding above this trend line. Is this going to catapult up or move down? Really big volume day is up here and we are below that. Also, let's check out Amazon. I know that Kramer was pumping this. Goldman Sachs gave this a $6,000 target. We're still hanging around this $32.50 level. As long as we are below this, I'm looking for this to go down to $2,700. What always sticks in the back side of my mind is Bezos saying, you know what? Amazon could go bankrupt, right? Why on earth would the CEO say that? And then step down and then start taking money out, right? He sold 6 months ago and he just sold 2 weeks ago. So when it's hitting highs, right? 6 months ago, I think it was up over here, right? Right here, I think is when he sold in October. And then he sold over here. Coincidence that he's selling up there? Maybe. Highly doubtful though. I don't really believe in coincidences in the market. That a lot of this is pre-planned. And a lot of the price movement is driven by the really big money in the market. All right, so on my list today I had AT&T with the news, with CSMCA, with Discovery, with the sell-off. So we had a little bit of a short sale down here, 50-cent move back down to the moving averages. Also had Discovery, which gapped up and dropped. So there was a nice short trade there below 38.50. Look at that, $4 move to the downside, and it is still continuing. AMC continuing to move to the upside today, but we are battling this trend line. If we can hold above this trend line, there's a chance when we break above 1460 that we could see that we are going to really catapult up. Really watch the 1880 level. That would be, or 1875. That would be a level that I would be very conscientious about. Dark pool area up here. Viacom today was hopeful that this could potentially break out to the upside. We've been in this consolidation for quite a while now. However, we are below the moving averages again, following the trend of the overall markets, right? The trend for today is down and correcting. So a lot of stocks are going through that sort of correction as well. BABA had a bigger drawdown with earnings. We saw this happen back over, where did we see the big drawdown? Back last May, we were in a similar position. It pulled back and then it shot up to new highs. So curious to see if the seasonality is going to continue. We started to see that it was really in June that we broke out from the bottom down here. Earnings last year was May 22nd, and so we had a couple days early. So looking for that to continue to the upside over here. But I would want to see it break out of this downward trend. So I'm going to set an alert on this trend line. I'm not going to jump in before it breaks out and it has that volume behind it. All right, Tesla. So Tesla today, that's not looking too pretty, right? It looks like we could be heading down. If we break below here, I would look for 522, 480, and then on down to the 420 level, right? Can you believe it? We were way up here at 9, and I kept saying, watch out. I think we could see a bigger pull down all the way back down into the 500s. We're there. Are we going to continue back down to roughly 420? In fact, I was going back using the volume weighted anchor price. I would love to buy it down here at 380 or 350. That's my optimal buy-in target. Maybe start an initial position around 420, but I want to see it go to the upside. Coin today. Coin is not doing so well. Even though they just had their earnings, they are continuing to set new 52-week lows, or correction, new 14th. How many days have they been trading now? So we are at our 23-day low. Every day it almost seems like a new low. We have this downward trend line. Again, if it breaks out from here, then I would be interested to the long side. However, right now, more of a bear on Coinbase. Netflix today, I set this up. It didn't have a lot of volume this morning. However, it looked prime for a bigger drawdown. Let's go back here. This is why. Because we have this gap from here really down to 470. And I was looking at the chart and it's big. It looks like almost distribution up here at the top. And I would look for this to potentially continue to the downside over here. Tech Valley, are those are cryptos, correct? I just want to make sure. Because there's over 9,600 cryptos and I don't know them all. I remember that Luna is a crypto though, right? All right. So Shopify, I had this set up as a potential short today. However, it did break out to the upside off of the 200 EMA. So keeping this on watch to see, are we going to close up above 111.20? That would be my threshold for this finally breaking out. And also I would like to see bigger volume at the end of day. I don't want to see descending volume on this down here. I want to see that we have a bit more volume now, and I would really love to see the 4 cross up over the 8. Google today, Google was down this morning, a bit of a doji day right now. Are we going to close below these moving averages again and continue much like Apple and Microsoft and Tesla? I don't have Tesla on here today. Yeah, didn't I do Tesla? Yeah, Tesla that's pulling back down. So I'm weary as to really being long and strong in this market. It feels very top heavy. Feels like money is coming out of the market to me. A lot of Fed chatter. We don't usually see this much Fed chatter at this time of year. So it's really raising the hair on the back of my neck. What is going on with the Fed? Why do they keep mentioning, oh my goodness, well, maybe we're going to do this. Well, maybe we're going to do that. Well, maybe we're going to do this. Oh, well, these numbers and this and that. You know what? You just have to react with the numbers. Don't be, let's see, what happened with our numbers today on Forex Factory over here. So numbers were right in line with housing market index, a little bit better for the Empire State Manufacturing. And then we have Fed talk right now going on with that Fed Live meeting in Atlanta. But other than that, we've got the long-term purchases. The really big thing that also raised a flag with me last month with the Fed meeting was, why are they buying mortgage-backed securities? It just seems like a setup for disaster. All right, let's come back over. Oops, we don't need that. So here we are with Google. Let's check out RIG. So RIG was one that everything's monetizable brought in. So this looks like it's nicely curling up, a nice rounded bottom here. Would watch to see, it did break out from this consolidation point down here, from here to roughly here, 54 cents. It looks like we've already made that 54 cents to the upside. That would be my target. That's where it sold off in the past. I would anticipate this is going to pull back to $4 and then potentially move on up through 420 to 440 from there. But right now, if I was in this, especially from down here at the bottom or from the breakout over here, I would block that 50 cents, in my opinion. All right, Nokia. So Nokia sort of sleeping down here, not much activity, earnings, gap up, held the base of 467. It does not have a whole lot of volume, but the volume is dropping down there, right? So I would be careful with Nokia. It looks like it's ready to roll over a little bit. It looks like it was in a bit of an overbought scenario and that it might be moving back down. If this were to break down below 475, in my opinion, I would wait for another day to re-enter. All right, Canaan is just following those trend lines right on down. Doesn't look like anything is supporting it right now. I would watch to see if this can break down below 860. If it can break down below 860, I would look for the next levels down over here, $8, $7.50, $6.75, $6.80, and so on, until it probably came down to support of roughly $6 right here. That's what I would look at. So maybe this is going to continue down another 30% to the downside. That is a possibility. All right, let's move on over to cryptos as well. I do have to jump. Let me see. They might be messaging me on Ticker Talker. Nothing yet, but I will be having to jump over to Ticker Talker to head on over there to do my live stream for 1 o'clock. All right, so let's look at really quickly SXP. Hold on, SXP USD, right? Let's go to crypto, make my life easier. Here we go to USD or UST. So this one looks like it is potentially pulling back down. Let me go here, make this a 26, turn that on, and turn that on. Okay. And I'll turn this on here. All right. Oh, I turned them off. It's 10 a.m. No, it's 12:54. Well, here. I did the wrong thing. I turned off the wrong ones. There we go. All right. So we're starting to see that the 20 simple is about to cross over the 50. And we're also having bigger moves on Bitcoin. I would look for this to come back down potentially to 308. It's in a downward motion right now. In fact, let's go to Bitcoin and Bitcoin USD. I don't remember which one I have it on, but if we look at it right here, you can see that Bitcoin did cross over. Here it is. We'll look for this to come back down to 41,700 and then on down to 39,000 potentially, and then down to 35,000. All right, let's go to Luna. They're gonna kill me because I'm late. All right, so Luna over here, same thing. Looks like if this breaks below 14.50, I'd watch for a bigger drop down to $13, but it looks like it's ready to potentially roll down. We don't have a lot of volume supporting it. All right, INJ, and then I'm gonna have to run after LIT. INJ, it's not coming up. INJ versus US dollar. All right, these are all looking like they're in a bit of a downward trend. I would watch for $11. The whole crypto space right now seems to be having a bit of a correction, but XRP is up from 8 p.m. yesterday, while most things are down. Last one, LIT. Light, Tether US. Yes, that is correct. Bitcoin is dropping and XRP is holding. So LIT looks like this is ready to break down below $6. Okay, Jane, still the total supply of XRP is 99, not 87 billion. I mean, if it was burned, the total supply. Yeah, I don't know, Nikos. I don't know where that 10 billion is. Honestly, I don't know. And it's a mystery. But I will see if I can do some more research and keep you guys informed. I'm going to have to jump over to my Ticker Talker live stream. So if you want to join me, I will be over at Ticker Talker on YouTube. So come on over and join me. I'll be on in just about 4 minutes. So see you guys soon. Love each and every one of you. Have an amazing day. And Carpe Profit sees those profits one trade at a time.